welcome to Metal Riffs TV. Your host is Leithal-X, and I'm here with Grace and Francesco from the band Amnesiak, and we're going to talk about their new album, Arkfiend, which is kind of an interesting and in-depth soundscape, storyline, and so forth. So, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, so looking at a couple of the different videos you guys have done to go along with the album that you released back in August. Let's talk a little bit about that first before we get into the actual songs themselves, how they were written and so forth. Um, I know that Bootlicker was out there. That one was kind of an interesting one because I don't know if people are aware or not, but you write a lot on this album, especially about serial killer type stuff and
Yeah.
hostages or victims and those types of things. And of course, you're a gothic doom metal band, so it kind of goes right along with the theme. So take it away.
Yeah, the idea of Arkfiend uh, is like something that come anyway from the comps of the band. We we did an EP a few years ago, and it was always about crimes and killers and even the victims. And so we Arkfiend we thought like to go a little bit deeper into it and. And even sound wise, we got a little bit more dark, I would say. So it's it's really interesting, even on our point of view, because we are discovering new. I think personally, I haven't been into this kind of I would say seeing like horror or
Yeah.
killing stories before we start Amnesiak. So for me, it's everything very new. She always had this kind of curiosity and
Yeah.
trying to check about serial killers, and then they,
How their mind
yeah,
works, makes them tick, and I love horror movies anyway. And the songs, we just thought like it'd be a really cool idea to talk about the victims and how serial killers do the crime and bring up crimes that have been forgotten and names that, the press they just put under the carpet and forget about. So it's basically a memoir to the victims and the serial killer's mind, really.
yeah, and it's really interesting because as we all know, we're talking about people that are that have a brain that works in a different way, and then the perceptions of life, if we can call that life, and death, and this kind of emotions and thoughts that they have, and is really is really interesting to transfer that from the actual story into lyrics and then work in the music and trying to create the atmosphere. Is Personally for me is really artistically really interesting. Is kind of opening the door to something completely new, and I'm really happy about the project. Like, it's it's not just about trying to make it. I mean, it's never been about that. It's like it's more about a personal interest and trying to get into something new, something that people have tend to um, like hide, ignore, and and is like emotionally really involving. Even when we are on stage and we play there, the intention is like to transfer that to the crowd. And apparently we're doing quite well. I mean, we got quite a few reviews and then people coming around, friends telling us, "Oh my God, you look completely different on stage," and then the atmosphere you bring out is really intense, and that was the idea about Amnesiak. And yeah, so I think this album Arkfiend is like um, representing us very well. I think for us it is a momentum. Um, it's something that it came out and it came out really in a really quiet way. But the more we go ahead, the more it's growing, and more people get involved, and we get more interest uh, from kind of crowd that we were not expecting.
Mm.
So when we play live, we have a goth but metal and a really different type of people crowd, and then he's like, I personally think that we are kind of starting something, you know, is more new than what we thought. Is it's been really challenging, but in the same time, I think we found the right formula to be out there with something new. Although there are other, you know, other bands and other artists that are writing about killers and stuff, but the way we are doing that is kind of bring the kind of, you know, red light atmosphere. Is like really deep. Say something that I wasn't expecting, and I'm really proud of. I think we did a good job artistically talking, and then hopefully, you know, people are going to get a message, and we're going to get the right recognition. I hope.
Yeah, I hope so.
Your videos definitely tell a story. So, you know, if somebody's watching it, they can kind of see where you're going with it. And it was a really, I mean, I was kind of surprised at the one point where the guy had the bag. Um, and that came into there because that's something you don't normally see in a music video so much. That's something you see in a horror film. So you kind of took the horror film into the music video, which was really cool to see. And then you had the girl, I don't want to give it away, but in the chest, which was actually kind of interesting to see happen too as
Yeah.
well in your Flames of Solitude video. So, you know, it's I think a refreshing way of seeing the stuff as you're saying. I think that the music itself, has a very powerful voice.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, it's there. It's got a little bit of ominous to it. It's just like, you know, it's there. It does remind me a little bit of you know, the Jefferson airplane, a little bit of her voice, and at the same time, you guys included White Rabbit, which was fitting to that album. And so I think let's talk about Arkfiend itself because that one's the one probably that talks the most about what you're talking about, I think, in the lyrically and how
Yes.
you came to put that song together.
Well, I mean, we thought about. Funny enough, that was the last track we wrote. Um, and then writing the track, we try to, as you said, bring all the content of the album into that track to be the first. And it's funny because it's a bit of a contradiction. Is that it worked a little bit like when you shoot a movie that you start from the end, and yeah, that's what art thing is like. You actually say the right thing is the assemblage of the entire album put in one track, and he came out in a way that he's actually introducing the rest of the tracks. Is and even that it was like spontaneous. It's like we didn't really plan the much, and then we were like we do have, you know, we do need some more tracks there because at the end of the day the album is not that long, although it's really intense, and we thought like that was the right number of tracks. We wouldn't put anything more because it would be probably too hard to go through. And our thing, I think, is musically really representing us. Is really floating in between uh, dark and harmonics, and the way it came out was really. I remember we we did the first version. It was much more
Slow,
minimal,
isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
really minimal, slower, not much drums there, and then we were working with Darren Tom from Resonance Logistic, and he asked an opinion, and he said like, I think you should add a little bit more drums there, and this song is gonna be a kick. This song is gonna be amazing. And then so we went through all the arrangements, and we rearranged, like totally changed that and then make it a little bit more rock, a little bit more groovy, and it worked very well. When we finished the track, we thought like probably this really represents the album.
It's probably our favorite
Yeah.
track on the album as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
I,
We
fi-
love
I
it.
find that really catchy, really, yeah. I just like the proper journey, and the fact that we talk about the first American serial killer is, and then we gave him the little name Arkfiend, like, nickname,
The devil.
the devil. Right, like they even the hint of religion into it is something that wasn't really planned as well. Like we do like the fact that in whoever is religious, like it's giving like an entity to the bad energy that a human being has, like the devil, God, and that's make everything even more fascinating, more um how can I say witchy in a way. And it's like um it's been like making a decoration around the album with an intro, and he actually complete the album perfectly. Once we finished the track, we said this is going to be the first track. We thought like the album now is done. It's like thanks to Arkfiend, the track. So we were like still kind of researching to finish the album to make it happen. And the track was just really like, wow, we made it. This is the end of the album, and the track is going to be the beginning of the album.
Yeah, and the very first track kind of led into that, right? It was a
Intro.
continuation.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah.
and so when somebody listens to that first track, they're going to kind of build that story. Then it goes to the second track of
yeah,
Arkfiend, and then you have a Pillar of Victory in there. You have the very last one is called the Last Rattle, which was
Mhm.
a kind of an interesting, like it kind of went from like all the stuff into it and kind of slowed it down a little bit, back to like some normalcy, I guess, in a sense. Is that kind of
Yeah.
what the intention was?
Yeah, we also had that track from like a previous EP,
yeah,
which we didn't use, The Last Rattle. And we thought we revisited it, and we thought it'd be a perfect ending for the album because it is slow, it's really more moody, and it just kind of finishes off Arkfiend in a perfect way.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, although they're tracks that are not connected to each other, it is a concept album, and start in one way and finish the same with the same vibes. He really, I think, put that circle together, close the circle,
Mhm.
and ideally, we hope that people are going to listen to the album again and again to understand where the concept is.
Mm.
And I think it will work. Yeah, nowadays we have the software that mix the tracks, and if you play the album that way, they're actually you're gonna get a proper concept album, even though the track meld together. Um, it is like a concept album, although we put a break in between the tracks. But yeah, it's all connected. It's all connected.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of concept albums. I mean, I think probably the one that most people remember was Operation Mindcrime from Queensryche many years ago. That was kind of like one of the first things where with an entire story, it went through the entire thing that tied together. So that was, it's a really good album, I think. It's kind of a solid foundation going on. I hear a lot of things going on. Guitar wise, that's all you, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And
Uh,
so,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
So the music is all me. Like anything you hear has been played by me. Yeah.
So,
So even yeah.
He's the
so you're the
mastermind.
instrument guy. Yeah.
It's it was more like to save time. I love to play with other people. I love to collaborate, and that's what we did with the previous EP. We tried to collaborate, and we actually had an amazing collaboration with Matthew Caesar and Mark Gemini, and the EP came out quite well and brilliant. But this time we had a little bit of let's say a rush, like um, and we want to release the album
Mm.
before the end of the year. So we thought, like,
Good.
shall we try to do that ourselves? And then, in case, then we ask for some collaborations, and we did for the EP. And when we put the track together, we're like, maybe next track we're gonna have a collaboration. Maybe next track we're gonna, and then
Yeah,
he
never
ended up like,
happened.
all right, the album is done. Let's just release that. So
the
yeah,
perfect timing is right before,
yeah,
the Halloween. So,
yes,
October, that's the perfect time to release an album like this. Because it's a rich story and, and the music and all those things, they all complement each other, as you've been saying. I think that you guys did a great job putting this together. I think that you can see that there's some dedication to the craft, if you will, because a lot of people don't think of music as a craft. They think of it as, oh, some guys just got together and just did some stuff, and it's not really
Exactly.
that way. It's a lot of work. I don't think a lot of people realize how much goes into making an album in there. So let's talk a little bit more about Flamed in Solitude. I think that one's kind of an interesting song in itself, and then the video itself lends itself because there's a couple different locations that are taking place in it, and a couple other visual elements that are happening in that.
Yeah, it
Can we
was all
talk
done
about
on
that some?
it was all done on a green screen. So like the locations you see are all done by who's the guy that made it? Richard Oates.
you show, yeah,
He did both Bootlicker and Flamed in Solitude
yeah,
video. He did such a great job.
brilliant producer.
Amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's is about Joan of Arc, isn't it?
Joan
Like,
of Arc,
yeah,
yeah.
Joan of Arc, and like um the good thing about the track is that we managed to bring in some hints of, it's kind of uh how would you call that? Like, the fact that she was a warrior, she was a woman at the time, when, it's like be a warrior and be a woman would be like, oh my God. They say nowadays, with the movements, like,
Back then,
yeah, it's like to bring back the importance of the feminine figure, and it's something that goes we nowadays with what we are living in the moment, like, um, you know, finally women to be in
yeah,
the
have a voice.
parliament and stuff like that. So we thought about her as a,
As a figure.
as a figure, because yeah, it would like bring up some something that is really actual, like wartime, and all these little hints in the song, and it's kind of talking about nowadays. At the end of the day, this female figure be a warrior, be accused of heresy, and and the war and all this stuff. It's like it's all stuff that meld together. Is like writing a song about
Yeah.
today, and yeah,
Even in the video, like
yeah,
the fact that we didn't wear like medieval clothes and we did it with army stuff to make it relevant to today's audience. And yeah, I think it was a really nice video. We
yeah,
got
the
good
videos were amazing.
feedback.
Yeah,
People liked it, so
yeah,
we're doing that right.
yeah. Even because Richard, they put like technology in it, like
Yeah, the
green,
burning
green
pictures.
screen, and he did a brilliant job. And I remember while we were shooting that, it was like, oh yeah, and then we're gonna make the fire, and I'm gonna make the hair moving. And he looked at me, it's like, why am I even coming out with these ideas? It's gonna be so difficult. But he did it, and he did a brilliant job. It's like he was thinking about making the hair moving and make it like, on the green screen. It's like,
Fire.
damn, how am I gonna do that? But it came out really well. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's in a way it's innovative, although the lyrics talking about all heroin, and is like really interesting that way, like bringing these kind of nowadays topics that we think is important to
To
talk
bring up.
about, yeah, to bring up, yeah.
Here, up here. Anything that you guys want to share for anybody who's watching? I know that where they can buy the actual music ad and so forth, or shows coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's available on all platforms, and
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, especially, I think is the best platform at the moment. So, we you get a little bit more of incomes there. And obviously, we are planning to play, to do more lives, and hopefully we're gonna achieve to to play Europe and USA and
Yeah.
wherever we can. So we're working hard on that now. We're working on the bookings and trying to make next year the busiest.
We have got a few bookings for next year. We're playing Darker Days, which is a festival in the UK in June.
Yeah.
And possibly one in Devon as well. So we're just starting with the bookings. We want to get more.
Yeah, and obviously that is the best way to come support us and buy merchandise and music. We are now working on the vinyl version as well. It's gonna be really nice, like graphic wise and everything. We are really happy about the cover of the album, which it's been made by
Daria Anderson.
He's
a photographer in Iceland.
And even that was like through Darren Toms of Resonance Logistic, and he's like being pointed out, and we were like, yeah, that look amazing. There's actually what we're looking for, kind of mystic and dark and so obviously we use that to make our merchandising, like t-shirts and I think that best way obviously is always to sign up to lives and
support live music
and buy stuff there. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to online, as I say, I think Bandcamp is the best platform, but we are on Amazon, we are everywhere. So on the platform that people prefer. At the end of the day, Apple Music and Spotify, obviously. It's interesting how all these cells work, and then you need the numbers and stuff, and we are a little bit like a bit back with that. Like in a way, we are rising the crowd online slowly, and it's a bit on purpose. Like it's kind of the fact that you are a little bit underground is always, I think, a bit positive in a way. It's more interesting in an art way, I think. But it's going very well, and we are working on the online. Obviously, we're interviews in the online, presence, and So I guess obviously we're going to release new stuff, and in a sense, I mean, we should get even more
out there.
Maybe create our own website at some point. Like is in the plan. We didn't, so that we can sell our stuff for the website.
But for now,
for now, we're trying to focus more on, because we're doing everything on our own. So to focus more in the artistic, aspect, like trying to write new stuff and trying to bring, more new things out there.
I don't think a lot of the fan base today realize what it is to be a band today, is that it is a lot of you doing everything. And it all falls on the people in the bands anymore. It's not like, oh, it got a record deal, they're just gonna carry me everywhere through whatever. No, you've got to lay the groundwork, you got to do the legwork, you got to do everything, and it's all there. There's some good to that though. You get to control your vision.
Yes.
So you get to have the narrative kind of come out the way you want it to come out, rather than somebody else taking over and doing that. So, I think you guys have got a good product that you're putting out, because at the end of the day, it is a product that you're selling. And of course, you're selling yourselves as part of that on live on the stage. And you really can't do justice, I think, to what you guys are doing without seeing you live in a concert. And I know it takes, I don't think people realize it can take up to a year in advance to actually book something, because everybody else is booking. So I totally get what you're saying about your booking right now, because it does take about a year for somebody to do that. So anyway, I appreciate you two of you being here today. And if you want to say anything else before I hit the end of this, let me know.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for having us. Really important to us to to have a chat and talk about what we're doing. Is always a bit of
It's a
relief.
pleasure.
It's a pleasure, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, all we have to say is check us out, and well, we're gonna enjoy our music.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks for being with me, and we'll see you in the future, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely.